Today, these creatures showed up that I have never seen before. And it's amazing because the number of times that I have creatures show up that I barely know the words to describe them is probably a once a month occurrence. This time, the best way to share it with you would be to describe them as swamp creatures, a swamp thing, lake monsters. And they were about the size of a cat. Because from my early childhood, all throughout my early 20s, my main escape was books. When people come to me for a psychic session, the information often comes through in a version of a story. There are archetypal fairy tale characters, Disney movie characters, heroes from stories, a hero's journey being shared that relates to my client's story or your story. I described them to the client and talked about these swampy, very amorphous creatures who were dripping with mud and seaweed and decomposing organic matter, who came up to this pristine picnic that was laid out for her. I shared with her this whole story of the picnic and some other things and the swamp creatures. And then I asked her what that meant to her, what was coming up. And through that process, she was able to become aware of her situation with a whole new way. With my brain, I could have coached her through it. And there's nothing wrong with coaching. That also happens at times in session with me. But the beauty of a psychic session is this divine and elegant story comes through. What I love about the elegance of it is custom designed for the client. The elegance is, my mind would have never come up with an analogy of swamp creature, swamp monster, swamp thing. But this spoke to her so readily. This person is also a water lover. And so and yet I have many other clients who are water lovers. I would say 50% of my clients, I get water imagery for them on a regular basis. My apologies for the sirens in the background. Apparently this is an alarming situation. The other clients have never received swamp monsters coming up to share with them. And as I said, these are creatures that I've never seen before. It took me several seconds to even have a way for my brain to conceive of what they were. And this is the other amazing thing, which is why I so value this type of work, and know you will value it too, is the human mind does have a limited perception. But outside of the human mind, what we can tap into, there's infinite intelligence, infinite possibilities, and awareness and connections and creativity beyond your wildest dreams. So when you can connect to that, when you can tap into that, the potential for expansion, creative expression, and amazing happiness and life fulfillment goes sky high. And the logical brain cannot do that for us. The logical brain loves to find the logical solution for the problem. We're living in a time right now where the logical, rational solutions are butting up against realities that do not work anymore. Logic has its place, but much like masculine energy, much like some of the structures of our world, yin versus yang, masculine versus feminine, things are out of balance, more to the masculine. We need to bring it back. And one of the ways that you can bring it back is to lean into the intuitive, to lean into the psychic, to lean into the things that are asynchronous, that are ambiguous. And tapping into that can give you a creativity and insight and intelligence and awareness that will completely and utterly transform your life for the better. I have in-person sessions in Greenville, South Carolina, and wherever you are in the world. We can also do virtual sessions over Zoom. Reach out and let's hear what your story is that opens up your infinite possibilities, your expansion, and your amazing self-expression. You are a truly gifted human being. You have so much available to you. Let's bring more of that manifested in your life into your real physical experience right now. Reach out to me.